morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing? Sorry if it's dark in here. I have my backlight on. I have my side light on. It's just pitch black outside still. The first day of spring was supposedly the other day, but I tell you what, Georgia hasn't felt it yet. It has still been pretty cold where I'm at. I think it's like only supposed to be 60 today. So, yeah. It's been chilly. I'm still rocking a hoodie. I was leaving the gym this morning and about froze my tail off. So, yeah. I'm not feeling the spring weather yet. In the afternoon, by like mid-afternoon, late afternoon, it's starting to feel a little spring-like. But my mornings are still very chilly. But we are almost 4 months into 2024. Crazy, right? And I wanted to do a little update on the TBR video. So as you guys know, I had like 70 books that I owned that I wanted to read this year. And we have so far read 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me a second here. I should have did this before 7, 8. 16. Just highlighting this one here. Sorry. We have read 16. Well, we're working on number 16 of that 70 book TBR. Now, I have read a total of 39 books so far this year. So of those 39 books, 16 came off of my TBR. And that's pretty dang good if you ask me. Almost half, not quite half. But, I think that's pretty good for somebody who is on Book Talk as much as I am and gets, constant feedback and who buys as many books as I do, just like in the book section of Sam's Club or Walmart. That's how I found Al Kennedy. I was walking around Walmart doing my grocery shopping and The Graham Effect was sitting there on the shelf and I picked it up and I have now read 10 Al Kennedy books this year. So it's a spiral sometimes. But we're going to go through the books off my TBR that I've read this year and what I thought of them. First book on my TBR, because it was coming out at the end of December and I knew I was going to read it at the beginning of the year, was Ruthless Vows. And Ruthless Vows was a 5+ read for me. I loved that duology so much. It is Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows are the two books. I absolutely ate that duology up. It was fantastic. I had no problems reading that one off my TBR. A Study in Drowning, which I also gave 5-star plus. I purchased that one in my Christmas haul last year, and I was really looking forward to it, and it's going to probably end up being one of my favorites of the year. Absolutely, absolutely love that book. And then we read Atalanta, and that was my first one off of my shelf back there that kind of let me down. That also came from my Christmas haul, and it just was not as good as I was hoping for. I've read the Madeline Miller Greek retelling stuff. I think that's her name. I have over here on this top shelf, I don't know if you can see it, some of the Greek stuff by her, like the Song of Achilles and whatnot. Love, love, love those. And also I have Daughters of Sparta up there and loved that one. But Atalanta just kind of fell a little bit flat for me. It read very YA. Yes, going into it, I knew it was YA, but it just read a little more YA than I was expecting it to. It just wasn't for me. It was a cool, Jason and the Argonauts story, but was not, one of my favorites. Immortal Longings. That was another one that fell just a little bit flat for me. I liked the premise of it, but something about the overall just feng shui of the book was a little choppy to me. Wasn't my favorite thing. I think I gave that one either a 3.5. I think I gave it a 3.5. Was not my favorite thing, but it came off my shelf. I got it in that Christmas haul. Bookshops and Bone Dust. Also was not as great as Legends and Lattes to me. I think I still gave that one a 4 though, because I did enjoy it. It's, my characters that I love. I love that world that was created by Travis Baldree. Adore him. But Bookshops and Bone Dust just felt a smidgen flat for me. I really, really loved Legends and Lattes though. So sometimes a book tube will do that. I don't know. Light Lark. Enjoyed it. Will I keep reading that series? Probably not. Was not like my absolute favorite thing. I have a whole video from just a few weeks ago of me reading it. It's actually a read with me and review. And it was very hard to get into for some reason for me. It just fell a little flat. Seems to be a common thing here. Aragon. I did finally read Aragon this year so far. Will I continue with the rest of that series? I don't know. I have it over there on that shelf. I'm actually borrowing that from a friend. The whole series. I don't know. I've heard that they get better because, like, the first one you could obviously tell was written very YA. I think the author was like 16 or 17 when he wrote Aragon. So I want to give at least the second book a chance. So I will probably read Eldest and see where it goes from there. Whether or not I actually finish that or not, it may be on my TBR that doesn't get read. It'll just depend on book 2. Book 2 is going to make that series or break that series, I feel like, for me. Practice Makes Perfect, which was a rom-com that I had on my Kindle forever. Been wanting to read it. It was cute. It wasn't anything to write home about. Was not my favorite rom-com of the year so far. Obviously, the Elle Kennedy books are going to take that right now. They're just that damn good. But I enjoyed it. Cherish and Charm, which were the last 2 books in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. I did read those, and I believe it's Cherish, which is, I can't remember if Cherish or Charm, which one is the one where they're in their own little world. So when they're in their dream, the main female character and the main male character are in their little world that is separate from reality. I enjoyed that book. That was a fun book. But I don't know. I think I was over that series. I'm glad that I finished it. I think that I gave them both 3.5. Actually, I think I gave book where they live in their own little reality. If you've read this series, you know what I'm talking about. Grace and Hunter, I think, are their names, or something like that. Where they're trapped in her gargoyle form in their own reality. I enjoyed that book. I think I gave that one a 4, but I think I gave the final book in that series a 3.5. I think I was ready to be done with that series. Ninth House was a DNF. I gave it my fighting shot. We got to the ghost essay. I couldn't do it anymore. It was a little bit too dark for me, especially where I was at mentally. It just, I don't know. I liked Shadow and Bone, and I had high hopes for this one. I've heard that the second book, the follow-up, Hellbent, wasn't even as good as Ninth House, so I'm so glad that I didn't continue with it. Fireborn is what I'm currently reading right now. That is a Dragon Rider series. It's the first book in, I believe, 3. I don't know if it's done or if it's going to continue to have more books, but I know that there's 3 so far. And I'm reading the first one. I'm 10 to 15% through it right now. It definitely jumped into the story more so than Fourth Wing. Like, Fourth Wing had a lot more build up, talking about Violet and like her family, and then you go with her through the meeting of everybody. This story, Fireborn, jumps in on like a competition day, and you just gotta figure out who these people are. Didn't love that, but also made me keep turning pages. So I'll do a full review of Fireborn probably on Monday. Dance of Thieves just dropped from the library. It is high on my TBR, so I will probably be doing Dance of Thieves next week as well. See what I think of that one. Crescent City 3. I read it the day that it came out. I think it took me 2 days to read that one. That's a 5-star plus for me. I absolutely loved that book. devoured it. Bride, read that one the day that it dropped, and I enjoyed that one too. It was a 5-star read for me. It is werewolf romance, so you've got to be ready for some of the Omega stuff that comes with that. But if you like paranormal romance, I liked Bride. And then Babel was the last one on my TBR that I've actually read so far. And that one, I think that if you go back and look at my Babel book, I think my issue is with the writing style. And I'm just not a R.F. Kuang girly. Shout out to the R.F. Kuang girlies. Babel read a little bit like a textbook to me, and I wasn't enjoying it. I did finish it, but it wasn't my favorite thing that I've ever read, and I felt the same way about the Poppy War. So I think I'm just not an R.F. Kuang girly. And that's okay. I appreciate what she has to say about racism in academia, which is very much where Babel is based. And I absolutely think that she should keep writing about these things and talking about these things and keeping these conversations on the table. I don't dislike her as an author. I just didn't care for that book. And yeah, that is everything that I've read off of my 71 book TBR so far this year. We are continuing to push through. There are some things that may come off of this TBR. Like I said, there are series that if I don't love it by book 2, I'm DNFing the series. But yeah, I've got a pretty good start for the first 4 months. 39 books in, 16 of them came off the TBR. I'm happy with that. Happy. I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for watching this video on my updated TBR. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. I appreciate all of that so much. How many times can I tell you how much I appreciate you? A lot today. But yeah, I will see you guys on Monday, hopefully with a Fireborn review. All right, talk to you then. Love you. Bye.